Hello. We live in a truly beautiful world. There's so much in front of us to be appreciative of. New technologies continue springing up to resolve historical challenges, architectural marvels that we live around and within, breathtaking landscapes that are a short distance away, inspiring stories of people doing the impossible for themselves and others. I wish to explore this and deepen my appreciation of the world. From the concrete to the abstract, I want to cover it all while doing so in a place I consider to be beautiful, interspersed with different important videos, articles, and more that tie into the theme. Throughout this video, you will find me summiting Mount LeConte, found in the Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee. Sit back, relax, enjoy the scenery as I talk about change. Most people see change as something different or a new experience. In a political sense, it could be going against current policies or institutions. People may seek to go in a new direction or return to something old. But this is not the most important or most common way that we experience change. Change in less obvious ways can be growing up. It can be getting a new job or moving to a new city. It can be the relationships you make, maintain, break, or lose. It can be how you dress and present yourself. It can be what you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It can be your standard day-to-day. Change happens constantly. And in most of these cases, change is really amoral. It will just happen whether done by nature or by people, by coincidence or by intent. People might think change is great when they get promoted, but they might also think change is horrible when they get laid off. That's only the first part, as there are consequences that follow from those changes. Change is its own catalyst for more change, and it's not always good or bad. Change a lot of the time can be difficult to follow. Some like to make fun of others who say things like back in my day, but those sentiments are more widespread than we think. Everything around us changes to our discomfort. We all wish that we could go back to a simpler time. Why do all the good things change? We shouldn't go and hyperfixate on that question. For better or worse, things have changed. It doesn't mean things can't change again, nor you can't make change for the better. Not acting for yourself and not making your own change would be a fatal error. Strive to make that positive change for yourself and others. Looking forward, there's a lot of good change that can occur, and the good part about that is that we have the ability to do it. Though change isn't good on its face, our ability to do so and adapt is. We live in a world that constantly changes, and we aren't always able to control it. But we as individuals can change, making this a necessary action in our lives. The change that has us grow for the better is us reacting and adapting to the change the world throws at us. This is our ability to change at work. If you didn't have this ability or decided not to utilize it, you could be facing worse scenarios for yourself and possibly for others that you care about. For billions of years, humanity and other creatures needed to adapt. Their choices brought us here today under infinitesimal odds of it happening. How cool is that? The path to get here was no doubt extremely difficult even a few hundred years ago. Hunger, winter, and war would cripple any kind of change attempting to be made. This brutality does not need to exist today, and the world has improved. Climate-related deaths are decreasing, largely in part due to technological innovations. Food is much more available than it was in the past, and despite what's being thrown around, relations are generally improving too. This is long-scale change at work done by tons of brilliant, innovative, and kind-hearted people across time. Don't take this to say that everything's perfect. There are still ways to improve, but because of the large amount of change that has occurred, because of people's ability and willingness to make change, things are getting better. So long as we can improve our decision-making abilities and improve the networks and environments we are contained in, we are able to maximize the good that we can get from change. Change will inevitably happen whether we can control it or not, but in the face of change, we can adapt and make the best out of that situation, changing ourselves in the process. And honestly, that's pretty amazing. Showing my appreciation for change is hard to do with data, especially today. So I'll break away a little bit to give a couple real-world examples that I'm fond of. I think I can reasonably be called a runner. I have participated in multiple races over the past few years, including 3 full marathons. I take a good amount of pride for being able to participate in these runs, but that pride is modest compared to my friends. Their ability to change themselves and compete in these difficult races is so powerful that they've broken out into tears at the finish line. Running however many miles, either 1, 3, 13, or 26, is no small feat, and it's awesome seeing the culmination of many months of consistent training and a changed mindset being rewarded. Other change might take more time and can be harder to occur. I love hearing about the exploits of Daryl Davis, a musician and activist renowned for changing the minds of the KKK. He would start these relationships with these people based on their shared love of music. Eventually, after gradually chipping away at them, Davis would get these KKK members to denounce the organization they were once a part of for a significant period of their time. I can't imagine the courage and willpower to make that kind of change. These people starting fresh after throwing away their past lives. People who can arguably be called the worst among us have the capacity to change quite radically for the better. Everyone needs to keep stories like this in their mind when they see someone they consider to be radical or extremist. The path for them to change is difficult and frightening, and they're often abrasive to it, since what they have now may all be gone if they do change. Change is so ingrained into our culture all across the world. It's present in media, as protagonists usually need to change something to meet their goals and to grow. It's present in music, as there are new artists out there redefining the genre they grew up in and evolving it or discovering something new. We celebrate the changing of the seasons and the arrival of the new year, where people make resolutions for themselves to do new things. Change is everywhere, and our ability to make it should be something very revered and celebrated. In the end, there's a lot of change that can happen. I am appreciative of my ability to change. I've gone through a lot of changes over time. Most of that happened on my own accord. While certain things changed outside of my control that I tend to lament, I understand I can't exactly go back to how things were. I know I need to move on and keep going, making new, good changes for myself. Thank you for watching this video. There's a lot more that I'm appreciative of, and I hope they will continue to be highlighted on this channel, but we will have to see.